Hi guys, so I wanted to do a little video talking about, because I do get asked this quite a bit, how I move through contrast and resistance when I don't really know what the problem is or why I'm attracting the certain situation. So it's a really good topic to cover that I think either maybe my process will help you or inspire you to do something that helps you move through it too, because we're all going to move through contrast and resistance. It's something we're all always working on. So helping each other is probably the best way to do that, and giving each other different ideas. So when I go through contrast, I have one of two things happen. Either I move through a situation that's negative and I can tell right away afterwards, like, oh, I was in this vibration, I did this, I said this, I put this out there, and that's why I got it back. And it's easy for me to move through it, and I can kind of laugh at myself and say, okay, don't do that again, or you did that and that's okay, and just get into a different vibration so you don't keep attracting it, you don't keep manifesting it. Or the second one, which is the one I want to talk about mostly, is when you go through a situation and you don't know why you are attracting something, you can't get it out of your head, you are in this like puddle of like angry contrast, resistance, you feel like crap, you cannot get through your day, you can't think about anything else. Like, that's one of two things that happens to me when I go through contrast. It doesn't happen very often. Like, when you guys see me on these videos, like, you see my high vibrational energy, you see that I have a lot of energy kind of moving behind me, and when I'm in that contrast state, when I'm in that resistance state, it's the same energy, but it's going in the other direction, it's going in the negative direction, so it's not pretty. And it doesn't last for very long, because usually I can work through it, but that's just to kind of give you guys a picture of how energetic that negative vibration is for me. But luckily it doesn't happen too often. When it does, this is what I do. First of all, I have to get myself in the feeling of, I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't want to feel angry. I don't want to feel sad. I don't want to blame anybody else. I have to take ownership of why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling, because when I go through contrast, I know that it is my beliefs that I haven't worked through that are making their way to the surface, that I need to finish working through, that I need to take my power back from. So I have a few beliefs that I probably haven't worked through all the way, and I came into law of attraction pretty fast, pretty hard, and I probably bypassed some things, so I can totally see why this contrast has to come back up, because I have to work on it. So one of the two things that I do are, I either do a mirror exercise or I do a journaling exercise. Both I basically do the same process, but they're just kind of different because you're either writing or you're looking at yourself. So what I do after I decide I don't want to be angry anymore, the mirror process is I look at myself in the mirror, like dead in the eyes, and this is after I've been like really upset, like I've probably cried, I may have yelled, like I've been really, really upset, but it works really, really well for me. So not crying, the mirror exercise. So what I do is I look in the mirror and I say, how am I feeling? And I have to get to the core, like I'm feeling upset. Okay, why am I feeling upset? Because this happened, and I kind of have to move through the things that have happened, and then I have to keep working through that until I get to my core belief. Okay, how does that make you feel? What are all of these things that you're listing? What do they all have in common? What do they bring about in you? And sometimes it will be a feeling of being insignificant, or not worthy, or not loved, or not worthy of love. And I know that those things are not true, and that's why they feel so bad when they are brought about in my vibration. And so once I get to that core feeling of what I am trying to work through, I can work through it. So once I get to either I'm insignificant, I'm not worthy, I look at myself in the mirror, still looking at myself dead in the eye, and it's powerful when you do this. It's a very transformative kind of exercise, so this is why I suggest you try it if you can. Mirror work is tough, but it is always worked so well for me, so try it out. once I figure out what my belief is or what I'm working through, I have to convince myself, or I have to talk myself up, like, you are worthy. You are worthy of abundance. You are awesome. People do like you. You are worthy of breathing, of going to work every day, of having people love you, and people do love you. And I kind of just keep going in that process and talk myself up. And it's actually that simple for me to go from feeling that resistant, awful thing to feeling back into my empowered state. And a big thing that I realize in the middle of all of these exercises that I do with working through contrast is that the things that are happening with the people outside of you, those people, the things that they are doing, have nothing to do with you. It may be triggering something in you, but they're not doing it to make you feel bad. They're really not. They're not doing it to crush your spirit, to make you feel not worthy. Most people, and I could, there are a few exceptions to the rule, are not out there to make you feel like crap, because they probably don't realize that they're doing it. And the stuff that they're saying has nothing to do with you. I did this mirror exercise after an argument with my dad once, and it was the most transformative thing for the moment and for our relationship, because in the mirror exercise that I did, I had to tell myself everything that he was saying had nothing to do with you. He probably has his own anger, his own life, his own perceptions that you don't know about, and he's working through it too. And once I was able to work through that mirror exercise, that particular one, the next day we had a really good conversation, and he even said the words, "Everything that I said yesterday had nothing to do with you." And I said the same thing, because we both were reacting out of our own anger that had nothing to do with the other. So that's important to remember when you're going through contrast. Try to separate yourself from the person and from what they're saying, because even though it is triggering something in you, and it is important to figure out what it's triggering so you can work past it, you have to be able to remember that they're just operating from the best way that they can. And they're just doing what they can, and they're working through their own triggers. They may not be consciously aware of it, but they are too. So that's my mirror exercise. And my journaling exercise is very, very similar. What I do is I write down how I'm feeling, and then I write down everything that I've been upset about or whatever's happening, and I get to the core feeling of I'm unworthy, I'm not lovable, I'm insignificant, which are not true. I know that they're not true. I used to practice that vibration a lot when I was younger, like 16, 17, whatever. I'm really happy I don't now, but I used to, so I have to work through it. And then after I get to that core feeling, I will write down the things that make me feel that way. What made me feel insignificant today? What made me feel unlovable? And I'll write the one thing, and then underneath it, I write from my heart, and I'll say that I wrote, this person said this, and it made me feel like insignificant. And then I will write from my heart and say something like, and I do believe that the things that I'm writing afterwards are really true, and they feel very resonant with me after I start writing. And I'll say something like, that's what that person is, that person, they have nothing to do with you. Again, this is the whole, like, what people say has nothing to do with them, that with you. What they say is on them, and they're operating from their point of view. They're operating from what they do. So again, it's separating yourself from the people, but doing that journaling exercise and going down the line and saying, okay, I felt this way, and then writing from your heart and saying, but blah, 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 blah. Again, it's talking yourself up. It's reminding yourself of your own power, of your own significance, because we're all significant, awesome people. And I know a lot of us may go through times where we feel like we're not significant, awesome people, but I truly believe that every single person out here is significant and awesome and great and worthy of all these awesome things. So I hope that these exercises help you guys work through your contrast. I hope it inspires you to create your own exercise to work through your contrast. Share it with someone, or whatever you want to do, because it has really helped me. I used to stay in contrast for weeks. I used to be super depressed. I used to be super angry. And once I started taking ownership of my feelings and the way that I was thinking, it changed everything. It really, really, really did. So hopefully these things will help you, and I hope you are not going through contrast right now. But if you are, try these out. Ask me if you need any more clarification on this stuff, because I'd love to help you in any way I can. And if you guys need anything else, have anything else you want me to cover in these videos, then let me know, because again, I would love to help you guys however I can. And yeah, I hope you're all creating some really awesome things. I would love to hear about what you're creating, so make sure you share that. And I hope you all have an amazing Saturday or Friday or Sunday or whatever day it is where you are. It's Saturday morning here. It's gonna be an awesome day. And I love you guys. Love and light.